Good evening, viewers. You're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where I curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. I'm Preeti Chaudhary, and these are the headlines. Mega face-off erupts after Modi unveils national emblem. TMC says original emblem was graceful, confident, while the one unveiled by Modi is aggressive, calls it shame. Explosive face-off over Smriti Irani getting charge of Minority Affairs Minister. TMC says a hardcore Hindu made in charge of Muslims and Christians. BJP calls it fake secularism. Uddhav Thackeray and his Sena back NDA presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu. Uddhav says his MPs requested him to support Murmu. RSS's Neta's big attack claims conspiracy to turn Muslim prayer day of Friday into stone pelting day. Slam open beheading calls by Islamist fanatics as un-Islamic.
शुक्रवार आया, मुसलमानों की इबादत का दिन है, पर कुछ षड्यंत्रकारियों ने नौजवानों को उकसाकर पहले से तैयार करवाकर अकस्मात हिंसा नहीं भड़की और उस शुक्रवार को पत्थरवार में बदल दिया है.
Over 100 Jharkhand schools change weekly offs to Friday. BJP guns for Hemant Soren government, calls it Muslim appeasement. Right-wing groups call for Band over Bengaluru's Eidgah Maidan, demanding celebration of Hindu festival. Sikh Maidan to be designated as playground. Rain fury continues to sweep. India's deadly deluge killed 61 in Gujarat. 3-day holiday declared in Telangana. Red alert in Maharashtra. All right, viewers, let's begin with the latest news break that is coming in from the state of Madhya Pradesh. Interesting. A government official from Madhya Pradesh was served a notice for arranging cold and inferior quality tea for the Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan at Khajuraho Airport in Chhatarpur district. A show cause notice was issued to the junior supply officer Rakesh Kanua. Now has been withdrawn after a fair amount of criticism and furor. But it's interesting, viewers. It's a little funny as well if you look at it, where a officer was issued a notice to ask a show cause why cold and inferior tea was served to the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, at the Khajuraho Airport. He's a vendor and he was issued this notice. Clearly, that led to a fair amount of furor, especially the Congress picked it up, called it VVIP racism. At the back of that, that notice since given has been withdrawn. I want to cut across to my colleague Hemendra, who's joining us with the very latest. You know, Hemendra, it's a strange kind of controversy. Why was a notice given to a vendor for actually serving cold tea to the Chief Minister? And a show cause for that?
Well, the incident happened on the 9th of this month when the Chief Minister was at the Khajuraho Airport, and there the light snacks and tea were served to him, and it was found that the tea served to the Chief Minister was not up to the mark. It was in fact cold. So the SDM served a notice to the vendor saying that this is not on, and a show cause notice was served to him, but that led to a huge controversy. The show cause notice was tagged to various people on various social media sites, including Twitter today. Various politicians took it up, including the opposition Congress party. And after the furor over this show cause notice, the district collector wrote a letter, or in fact served a notice to the SDM saying that the Chief Minister had never expressed any such objection to the tea that was served to him, and therefore the show cause notice that has been served should be immediately withdrawn, and the same has been withdrawn. And after that, the BJP supporters and BJP spokespersons and many BJP leaders took to social media sites, including including Twitter, to announce that the Chief Minister has never expressed any kind of displeasure over the kind of tea that was served to him, and it was an overzealous sub-divisional officer. To quote in Hindi, "Chai se garam ketli thi, is wajah se ye sab kuch hua."
Well, thank you there, Hemant, for joining us, Hemendra. Well, interesting at that, but it seems right now, at least by the face of it, the work of overzealous, over-enthusiastic administration, who saw that cold tea was served to the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Therefore, a show-cause notice, viewers, was given to the vendor at the Khajuraho airport as to why cold tea was served. At the back of a fair amount of furor by the opposition, the show-cause notice has been withdrawn. Shivraj Singh Chauhan has actually come in and said that I never expressed, anything untoward at the back of receiving cold tea. It's not my doing. Well, all's well that ends well. That show-cause notice has been withdrawn. Let's now quickly move on to the other big story that we are tracking very closely, and it comes from the state of Maharashtra, viewers. Is there a possible Ghar Wapsi where Uddhav Sena is concerned? Many would suggest one of the biggest indications was when Uddhav Thackeray climbed down and said that his support will go to the NDA-backed presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu. The beleaguered Sena chief has now been forced to back the NDA president candidate. He says it's come from his party men who want the support to go for Murmu, who's a tribal, a woman. The U-turn comes after majority of Sena MPs rooted for Draupadi Murmu. Uddhav, along with the Mahagadi ally Sharad Pawar, had earlier backed opposition president nominee Yashwant Sinha. The U-turn now has led to murmurs of dissent amongst Uddhav's allies, but led their ruling Eknath Shinde BJP combine to openly gloat. Uddhav, who recently lost 40 of his MLAs to Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and BJP, has little options to avert a split of his MPs.
पहली बार हमारी एक महिला भगिनी आदिवासी समाज से देश का जो सर्वोच्च पद है उसके ऊपर विराजमान होने जा रही है, तो मैंने भी यही सोचा कि सारे लोग अगर प्यार से मुझे कुछ कह रहे हैं तो उनकी भावनाओं का आदर करना चाहिए, और उस भावना का आदर करते हुए आज मैं जाहिर करता हूं कि आने वाले इस राष्ट्रपति या राष्ट्राध्यक्ष चुनाव के लिए शिवसेना द्रौपदी जी को हमारा अपना समर्थन दे रही है.
First, we welcome his decision, because Draupadi Murmu is the face of Adivasis, face of Vanvasis, the face of our tribal community. So all of his MPs, including MLAs, they wanted to vote and support Draupadi Murmu ji. So finally, he heard their inner voice and has taken this decision to support Draupadi Murmu. So we welcome this decision, and other things we do not comment about their internal party issues. But when we talk about the president post, at the first time we have seen that the kind of face our party has going to give for the country and the president is from the tribal community. So all the opposition should also come forward, and they should also take a decision the way Mr. Uddhav Thackeray has taken.
We all request you to support the candidate what respected Narendra Modi ji has given. And after this, all MPs were against, because all these incident happened from last 1 month. 40 plus MLAs went out, leaving Uddhav Thackeray, and create their own party in the name of Sena. Because of that scaredness, now Uddhav Thackeray has taken U-turn, and I'm very thankful to him also.
Okay.
Because these days, tribal people need a support from every party, because none of the other parties, or either Congress or either Sonia ji, because I have requested Sonia ji Gandhi also to give us support to this candidate.
We welcome this decision because all MPs, they represent you 20 to 25 lakh people, and these are the sentiments of Maharashtra. So that everybody come together and should support Draupadi Murmu ji. And I think they rightly have put before those sentiments, and he has taken a good decision. We welcome this decision. we think that this would create a kind of good atmosphere, or this is a good thing that for us it's a ray of hope. That is what I feel.
All right, viewers, from Maharashtra, let's focus right now to the state of Punjab. In the latest, the Aadmi Party has appointed Raghav Chadha, Rajya Sabha MP, to the post of chairman of the advisory committee to the state of Punjab, the government of Punjab. The Aadmi Party says, well, he was already doing the job. He's the one who stitched together for the Aadmi Party the entire campaign which won the party such a huge mandate in the state of Punjab. And this is just giving him the post officially. The opposition on the other side says that this is an outsider. Punjab didn't elect him. Why is he now the chairman of the advisory committee?
ਆਪਣੇ ਕਰਤੱਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਨਿਭਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਜਿਹਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਲੋੜੀਂਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਧੇ ਜਾਂ ਅਸਿੱਧੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਦੱਸਾਂਗਾ ਨਾ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ.
A phenomenal surge and a stunning blow barely 3 months later. Punjab's ruling Aam Aadmi Party lost its Sangrur stronghold in the Lok Sabha by-election in June. And a month further on, the state government had to scrap an industrial plan in a forest zone after environment and religious activists accused it of greenlighting the project approved by the previous Congress administration.
The Captain साहब ने बिना कुछ पता कीते उन्होंने मंजूरी देती कि हाँ जी साडे वल्लों मंजूर है तां असीं इहदे ते गौर कीता और गौर करके फैसला कीता कि मत्तेवाड़ा दे जंगल च कोई इंडस्ट्री नहीं लगूगी.
The dust over the Sangrur loss and textile project has barely settled when Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann finds himself in the middle of another round of heavy opposition fire. This time after his government-appointed Rajya Sabha member Raghav Chadha, as the chair of a temporary advisory committee, was empowered to attend official meetings.
The events that have unfolded in Punjab over the past 3 months, from a knowledge-sharing agreement with the Delhi government, the selection of Rajya Sabha members, to the appointment of an AAP MP as chair of an advisory panel to the Punjab government, when strung together, have encouraged the Congress, the Akalis and the BJP to build up on the remote control narrative against the state government.
In a region-centric state like Punjab, the Delhi-centric narrative has traditionally bitten some of its towering leaders, when they stood accused of pandering to political powers based in the national capital. No wonder Raghav Chadha's role as advisor-in-chief to the state government has invited swift reactions. The Akalis, the Congress and the BJP appropriated a common narrative, calling the Rajya Sabha member a proxy chief minister of Punjab. Aam Aadmi Party has defended the move though.
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਾਨਯੋਗ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਰਾਘਵ ਚੱਡਾ ਜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਭੱਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ, ਕੋਈ ਤਨਖਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣੀ, ਕੋਈ ਸਹੂਲਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣੀ. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਹਾਈਲੀ ਇੰਟੈਲੈਕਚੁਅਲ ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਟ ਪਰਸਨ ਹੈ. ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਸ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਯੋਗਤਾ ਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਲਓ.
But some of Punjab's independent political observers aren't convinced with the defence. They too find the Delhi-based Aam Aadmi Party leadership coming in the way of local governance.
It's a direct interference in the Punjab affairs, not simply mediating, simply actually directing the total Punjab government affairs. That's why the opposition people and others all are opposing this appointment.
Its broad popularity aside, Aam Aadmi Party seems to be facing a perception battle in Punjab over its Delhi roots.
And that presents a stern test ahead for the state government in pushing the big ticket policy agenda without risking the negative narratives of fulfilling the wishes of the party bosses back in the national capital. With Harmit Shah Singh in New Delhi, this is Manjeet Sahgal in Chandigarh for India Today.
All right, viewers, moving on right now to Jamtara. In a strange sequence of events, primary schools of 2 wards in Jamtara are giving the weekly holiday on Friday instead of Sundays to students. Over 100 schools in Jharkhand's Jamtara district have been started taking Friday weekly off instead of Sunday. The new practice is being followed by schools where majority students are from Muslim community to enable them to offer Friday prayers. Now, people of Bariapur, one of the villages where the change was implemented, insist the middle school has been following Friday off since its inception. The Friday off system was earlier being followed by Urdu schools, now is being extended to other schools. The BJP objected to the move, calling it Muslim appeasement by the Hemant Soren government. Under fire, the JMM Congress government has ordered an inquiry into the matter.
जैसे कल अखबार में आया, हम सब मेरे पास लिए और सभी जामताड़ा के डीओ, डीएससी, डीओ को बुलाया। बुलाने के बाद उस पर कोई बंद कमरे में हम चर्चा नहीं की। आप लोग सामने थे। उस चर्चा के दौरान स्पष्ट निर्देश दिया, पत्र जाएगा विभाग से कि 1 सप्ताह के अंदर रिपोर्ट दें। उस रिपोर्ट से हम संतुष्ट हो जाएंगे, नियम संगत कानूनन, तो फिर अगला हम लोग उस पर क्या कार्रवाई हो सकता है विचार करेंगे।
झारखंड सरकार तुष्टीकरण के रोज नए रिकॉर्ड बना रही है। अब नवीनतम उदाहरण जामताड़ा जिले का है, जहां के अनेकों स्कूल में जो मुस्लिम बहुल इलाके में है, वहां रविवार की जगह शुक्रवार को सरकारी नियम के विरुद्ध छुट्टी करा दी गई और यह भी स्थानीय जो मुसलमान हैं उनके दबाव में किया गया और प्रधानाचार्य ने नियम को ताक में रखकर ये छुट्टी शुक्रवार को कर दी ताकि लोग प्रेयर कर सके। और ये कितनी शर्म की बात है कि इन कुछ स्कूलों में स्कूलों के नाम के आगे जबरन उर्दू स्कूल लिखवा दिया गया। तो यानी कि ये सरकार कुछ और कहती है, लेकिन जहां मुस्लिम बहुल इलाके हैं वहां कुछ और कानून चलता है। ये कैसी सरकार है साहब? ये तुष्टीकरण की जो इस सरकार ने नंगा नाच रखा है, इसी का परिणाम है कि नीचे भी इसकी आग अब धीरे धीरे बढ़ रही है।
We have seen the manner in which the Jharkhand government continuously has engaged and indulged in vote bank politics to appease one community, because the Congress and JMM, like the Manmohan Singh government always believes in appeasing one community over the others. We have seen how even during the UPA time, the Prime Minister had said that the first right of resources is of one community.
Because in many states and many districts, monsoon continues to rain misery, especially in the state of Gujarat. Till now, the death count stands at 61. Maharashtra, Gujarat, Telangana have seen no respite from heavy rainfall. The IMD has now issued several heavy rains across Kerala, Maharashtra, Telangana and Madhya Pradesh advisory. In Telangana, the IMD has issued a red alert in the North District after several low-lying areas in the region were inundated. Telangana has declared a 3-day holiday for schools, colleges. In light of the IMD predictions, Telangana Chief Minister KCR has instructed officials to be on high alert in the event of a high-level situation. Monsoon mayhem has also rocked Maharashtra's several regions. The state is also on high alert in midst of IMD issuing red and orange alerts. Meanwhile, in Madhya Pradesh, the IMD has issued an orange alert for heavy to very heavy rainfall in 33 districts. Officials have been asked to remain under high alert. The IMD has issued an orange alert in Kerala as well.
There's a high tide of approximately 4.47 meter in the Arabian Sea right now. But in spite of the high tide and the rain that has been banging the city since yesterday, in fact, there is an orange alert in the city. But in spite of all these alerts, and people have been asked not to really venture out into the seafront, although there are quite a few of Mumbaikas still around. But people have been asked in general not to venture around the seafront. Right now, because in spite of the high tide as well as heavy rains, as Mumbai hasn't come to a standstill, which is a very good thing, because the central railways are running, the western railway is running. The traffic on the road in Mumbai is slightly slow. There is traffic movement is slow, but in spite of that, because of no heavy waterlogging in any particular area, the traffic is moving towards town where people are heading towards work. With cameraman Sunil Vadya in Mumbai, Vidya for India Today.
The state highway that connects the Pasara district from the Medaram, the most tribal areas known to be is completely under water now. As you can see, the water is almost 3 to 4 feet on this road, where now people who have to travel this side, like you can see that a car waiting at the other side just to come 50 meters away from there, now have to cross more than 22 kilometers, choosing another route to get back to this route. So these several such highways are inundated in water following heavy rains, and the tributaries to Godavari are also which are crossing these kind of small bridges are completely underwater.
Alright, this is a scam that will blow your mind. It's actually an epic fit for a web series. Well, all of it took place in the state of Gujarat in Vadnagar. 4 people, though, have been arrested for running a fake cricket league in Gujarat's Vadnagar. The aim was to dupe Russian punters. Putting up a near-perfect score, the accused had a proper light setup and orchestrated near-live matches. Matches were being broadcast live on a YouTube channel. They also engaged a commentator who could mimic Harsha Bhogle. They accepted bets from punters in 3 Russian cities. The visuals that you see on your television screen are actually the visuals that were beamed live to these punters in Russia. They had almost reached the quarterfinals of the fake league, but were caught by the cops before they could reach the semi-finals. The accused first bought a small farm, made it like a cricket ground. Villagers were paid up to 400 rupees per match to play act as cricketers. According to the local police, the league was specifically conducted for betting purposes and catering specifically to the Russian markets.
मेहसाना एसओजी को एक हकीकत मिली थी कि जो वडनगर पुलिस स्टेशन में मौलीपुर करके गांव है, वहीं पे गुलाम भाई मसीह करके इंसान है, उनकी जो खेतर है उसमें क्रिकेट सट्टा इंटरनेशनल खेला जा रहा है। तो वो हकीकत पे उन्होंने रेड की थी और वहां पे जो खेतर है इसमें क्रिकेट की मैच बनाई हुई है। क्रिकेट जो खेलने वाले हैं इसमें 400 रुपये पर डे वेतन से इंसान बुलाए जाते थे, और वो जो रशिया में बैठा हुआ है आसिफ मोहम्मद करके, वो जो चैट करके बताता था उस तरफ से वो लोग खेलते थे।
You're watching our fact check segment where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. Now there's a claim floating about that GST is going to be levied on school textbooks. Incorrect. The fact check on that, printed books and newspapers not taxable under GST. With that quick fact check,